I believe that God is rebuilding many people in this season, not just their circumstances, not just their opportunities, but God is rebuilding them from the inside out. Because over the years, many of us have accumulated layer upon layer upon layer of many things that were never meant to define them, like disappointment, rejection, fear, survival, leadership pressure, ministry expectations, responsibilities, past experiences, and so on and so forth. And before we realized it, all of these things begin to stack themselves on top of our identity, overshadowing us, clouding our vision, causing us to not see us according to who God created us to be, preventing us from distinguishing what is truly us versus what life placed upon us. I'll call this accumulated identity residue, where expectations, circumstances, wounds, survival responses begin to collect on top of who God created us to be. And for some people, there are so many layers that they just feel stuck. It's like they are just stuck in the mud in quicksand, feeling confused, disconnected, unable to move, not because they lack purpose, but because they can no longer see themselves clearly. Matter of fact, they probably never did in the first place. And I believe this is one of the reasons that God is bringing so many of us into this season of being rebuilt. He's removing what doesn't belong. He's healing what has been wounded. He's exposing what has been hidden. And he's restoring people to the very essence of who he created us to be. Because God is not trying to make you someone else. He's helping you to discover and recover, return to the person he always designed you to be. He's helping you to return to the original intent, to the original design that he intended from the beginning of time. But here's the thing, rebuilding starts with removing the layers upon layers that have been covering up your identity all this time. And this is why I believe that God has been taking many of us through an intensive stripping process over the last year. Um, so we can begin to see ourselves clearly, so we can mend the divide in our heart between us and Him, and so we can walk into in the fulfillment of who He created us to be. We cannot live the life that God called us to live, operating in a pseudo identity. So God's will shall be fulfilled at all times. So He's going to do what's necessary to get us in alignment with who He called us to be. So if you've been feeling disconnected from yourself lately and wondering what's going on, I'm here to give you language today. It's probably that intensive stripping process that you've been enduring. God is not doing it to hurt you, but to make you better. And sometimes clarity begins when we start paying attention to things, to what has been covering up the true essence of ourselves. This is why the Lord gave me the Color Code Rebrand Journey just for you, um, to help you to gain the clarity that you need, the insight that you need, to help you to be able to return to the true essence of you. So go to the top of my page and go ahead and click the link and go ahead and get your downloadable copy of this 12-day transformative experience. It is life changing. Um, you don't want to pass this by. You need this. You need the help. Matter of fact, you've been praying to God for some help. You need some assistance to help you get into the place and space that God has designed for you to be. Um, but you're one of those people who don't want the pomp and circumstance. You don't want business as usual. You don't want the religious way per se. God created the color code rebrand for you because you are a creative. You are someone who likes to be addressed differently, and you want a private experience. You don't necessarily want to get in a group in a big room of people. Um, Go ahead and go to the top of my page and get the color code rebrand journey today, so you can partake of this transformative experience. God is going to meet you on every page. Okay, go right now. So think about it and comment below and tell me if you've been going through this rebuilding process as well. By the way, my name is Ajazia, Inner Life Rebrand Designer, and I help faith aligned leaders redesign the rooms of their inner life so they can rediscover, recover their identity, voice, and creative expression. Follow this page for more insight. Talk to you soon. Peace.